Stay tuned for the Splash Live. It's time for the Splash Live from Civic Center TV, featuring stories from and about people like you in the Greater West Bloomfield area. Simulcast on cable, 89.3 Lakes FM, social media, and the web. Now live from Green Media Center on Walnut Lake Road, it's the Splash Live.
Live, local, social, it's the Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. I'm Tyler Kieft, joined as always by Kevin McIntosh. Kevin, glad to have you back. Glad to be back after a long weekend for most people in our communities and a long Monday for us as well, but for good reason.
Man, Tyler, you already know we work in broadcasting, so it's a Monday through Friday deal. No days off, man. But yes, Memorial Day was a great day. Great time, great weather, great people to see. Another day, another opportunity to be here. You can see my visuals. You can hear my vocals. Let's go, Tyler.
Yeah, it was a great Memorial Day for us. We had a chance to be out live for the Keego Harbor Memorial Day Parade, joined by a lot of people. Despite the weather, a lot still got out on the Cass Lake Road to enjoy the festivities, beautiful floats, and a lot of people enjoying the community and celebrating the occasion. And that's what's interesting about these Memorial Day parades, is that it does get the community together, and it's a celebration not necessarily of the occasion of Memorial Day, but the celebration of the freedoms that those sacrifices that our soldiers made in active duty active duty. It's the culmination of those sacrifices. This is what it was all for, and we were able to celebrate so many different people out in Keego Harbor. Big thank you to Ronnie Dahl and Woody Woodruff for being our hosts, as they have been over the past several years, and for Jeremy over at Jaybird. They were our gracious hosts this year. Usually, Kevin, we've been out at Roosevelt Elementary over the past several years, but given the status of that building at this time, we weren't able to be in that same location. Jaybird stepped in and helped us out. Big thank you to them. But Kevin, we were also able to capture a really nice moment from Keego Harbor as they did their memorial before the parade, before all the fun and the smiles and the music and the dancing. They took time to celebrate their veterans that they have lost throughout the years at the Rock. And one of our cable commissioners, Joel Ross, was out there. He actually got some video at the Memorial Rock. Let's take a look. That rock located at the corner of Orchard Lake Road and Cass Lake Road in Keego Harbor. The Veterans Memorial Plaza is that location. It's out right in the public, right by Mary Donnelly's public house, and just down the road from Roosevelt Elementary School, down the road from Keego Harbor City Hall, and so many other locations right in the heart of the city. They honor their veterans year-round on Memorial Day. Of course, they perform the national anthem. The Police and Fire Honor Guard salute our fallen veterans, and they bring the American flag down to half staff. As we see our firefighters on your screen on civiccentertv.com saluting our fallen soldiers in Keego Harbor. That again from Joel Ross, one of our Greater West Bloomfield Cable Communications Commissioners representing the city of Keego Harbor. A beautiful moment there, Kevin, as we recognize what Memorial Day was all about, and that's about recognizing the life and the sacrifice of our fallen soldiers.
Correct. Absolutely, man. Takes some time for me to reflect on things that my uncle have been through, my grandfather, other veterans in my family have been through, and like we said, the ones that aren't with us anymore either, paying our respects to them, those who have fought for our rights and our freedoms in this country. It should not go under-recognized or underappreciated. So it's good for us to take a time to acknowledge them, respect them, and honor them via Memorial Day celebrations.
That is for sure, Kevin, as we celebrate Memorial Day, as we recognize Memorial Day across our community on Monday. The full Keego Harbor Memorial Day Parade coverage can be found on CivicCenterTV.com. In addition, we were also out in the prettiest little city in Michigan in Sylvan Lake, where they had both their Memorial Day Parade and their Veterans Memorial event right after that. And a beautiful moment as we celebrated our veterans during the parade. We recognize the veterans in our community that have been lost over the years. One of the veterans in Sylvan Lake with the greatest longevity, a Marine himself, a Marine veteran, Howard Webb, celebrated at the end of their Veterans Memorial on Monday in a very special moment. Here's what happened.
Deserves a happy birthday to you. Happy birthday
102 years old. Howard Webb is the name of the gentleman you'll see on your screen here in just a moment. There he is. It took a moment at the end of that Sylvan Lake Memorial Day event to wish him a happy birthday. 102 years old. A remarkable moment, Kevin, in the city of Sylvan Lake as they celebrated one of their greatest. And Kevin, we'll go back to celebrating our veterans that are still with us while recognizing those that have been lost over the years. It goes back to a recognition of the freedoms and the abilities that we have each and every day, including that ability to get together as we did on Monday at the Keego Harbor Memorial Day Parade, and for so many other fun games and events all throughout our 4 communities, including in the city of Keego Harbor throughout the rest of this summer and beyond.
Yeah, Tyler, a lot of things to be happy of, to celebrate. 102 years old, man. I want to applaud that one time too. Hopefully, I make it to that type of longevity. But yeah, a lot going on around our 4 communities. More specifically, just thinking about some of the Memorial Day events that we talked about, specifically in Keego Harbor, and other things that Keego Harbor has going on. So just here to talk about a little bit more of what's going on in Keego Harbor and things of that nature, and reflecting on the Memorial Day events. Joining us here on the Splash Live, we have Kirsten Sonneville Douglas, Keego Harbor Parks and Rec. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Splash.
Good morning, Kevin. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. So me and Tyler were just briefly talking about some of the events and some of the things that happened during Memorial Day. Can you just give your reflection of the Memorial Day events at Keego Harbor?
Oh, the weather cooperated, which was one of the things that was a little bit of a concern for us. But it was a beautiful day to honor those that made the ultimate sacrifice. And so we had a ceremony at Veterans Memorial Rock, or Park, we call it The Rock. And so we were thankful for having the West Bloomfield Fire Department to do a flag ceremony. The West Bloomfield Marching Band was there and did a beautiful job playing the national anthem as well as taps. And our mayor was there to greet everyone and just to pay tribute to those that made the ultimate sacrifice.
Absolutely.
And then we changed routes and went all the way to the other side, to the north end of the city. And we started the parade, and we were so thankful. We had 27 entries in the parade, and it was a beautiful day. It was so great to see the community lining the streets, and it was just great to see everyone.
Yeah, nice. So there's a few different factors I want to speak on in regards to what we just experienced, and then going forward, looking ahead. So first and foremost, 27 entries for the parade. Has that number grown over the years, or has it remained steady? Is there a cap on it? Can we just speak on that?
Great question. No, it stays around 25 to 32, I think is the most since I've chaired it that we've had. Okay. A lot of it depends on election years. I'm not going to lie. We have an influx of political entities that will join in a campaign year. But we don't have a cap. So the more the merrier. We love it. We have some new entities that came. We're thankful that Blooming Brains Academy, they sponsored the bike decorating for our little kids, and they were a new entity that joined us this year. And so just some that can't do it because of family conflicts or other conflicts, but it's cyclical and they come back around, which we're thankful for.
Right. So I know there's a lot of moving parts to this event, Kirsten. So just speak on what it takes. Just paint this picture and put perspective in for what it takes to organize these types of events. And when you all start too. We just ended it yesterday. Are you all starting now for next year? Just talk about the process of getting it together.
I give myself a week, but we have a
go.
bunch of other events in Keego. So the summer is really busy. We don't start planning the parade until about January, and that's when the first registration goes out to say, "Hey, put this on your calendar. We would love for you to participate." And then it's the last 2 months where it's more cramming. Last week, I spent probably 80 hours just on parade stuff itself. And it's not my full-time job, right? We're a commission of volunteers, so yeah.
Okay. Freeze real quick. This is why I talk about how important it is to acknowledge the people who volunteer their time. Kirsten, did you just say you volunteered 80 hours of your time trying to get this event together? Correct? You said that.
That's correct. We have people who are like, we want to participate, and I found out Sunday morning that they are set. I think Sunday morning that they wanted to participate. So it's changing up the lineups. It's making sure we're communicating all the logistics about the busing and the shuttling and where to stage and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a huge undertaking, but it's all worth it once you go down the street and you see the community together, and that's what makes it.
So I'll first of all, let me applaud you, Kirsten. I don't know if anybody's done this yet. Thank you. We appreciate you putting in your time to do that. I couldn't imagine taking 80 of my extra hours to volunteer to do something like that. That means your heart was in that. So that's good to hear. Real quick, and join us here on the Splash Live, Kirsten Sonneville Douglas from Keego Harbor Parks and Rec, talking about Memorial Day event and just talking about things going forward in Keego Harbor and the surrounding areas. So real quick, looking back on the event again, are there any things that you noticed, that you saw, that you instantly feel like you want to change and or fix or upgrade for next year's event?
There's always improvements, but what I love about it is that what you don't see on the back end, as long as you're like, oh, that was a great parade, that's all that matters to me.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
So no event goes the way you want it to.
Nope.
And so exactly. And so everyone's like, oh, that was a fantastic event, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yo, because I'm gonna be honest, on the production side, it was a little crazy on our end. I'm gonna be honest. I'm going to.
I saw you in the morning. Yeah.
But other than that, like you said, as long as the patrons, the people who attended it, the residents, they saw the outside, it looked good, we did our job. That's all that really matters. So job well done, first and foremost. But speaking of that, if anyone is interested in getting involved, volunteering, maybe taking some of those hours away from you, how can they do that going forward?
They can follow us on social media, our Keego Harbor Parks and Rec page. I think it's KH Parks. Also connecting with our city on their website, which is keegoharbor.org. Even if they don't want to chair an event, we need bodies, right? Yesterday at the parade, just people standing along the parade route to slow it down. So when it comes to meeting you guys at Civic Center TV and doing the interviews and stuff like that, is helping close the roads. Simple tasks. I'm not asking you to, unless you want to chair an event, and I'd be happy to let you chair an event. But if it's just, I can't take that on, Kirsten, that's not a problem. We'll find something that is in your wheelhouse, what you feel most comfortable with.
Completely understand. Let people work on something that's their strength, and that way we can all benefit and move it along. It won't take too much time. Completely understand that. So let's look forward now. Any other events? It's the summertime, and we got a little bit of piece of consistent great weather yesterday during the Memorial Day event. But once it's consistently good in the summer, everybody's looking to go outside. What can we expect from Keego Harbor Parks and Rec?
We're really excited. We've got our Keego Block Parties again this year, the third Friday of June, July, and August. So bands that we have are Slowfoot, Interstate 90s, and the Dudes. And the food trucks that go along with them are the Grilled Wrap, Cousins Maine Lobster Truck, and Bueno Tacos. So we're really excited about that. Our art sale, our local artisans and crafters will be out there as well. We've got the games so people can play cornhole or ladder golf or yard Jenga and dance and have a good time and just be together.
Oh, I love yard Jenga. That's the big Jenga, right?
Yes.
Oh my God, I love that. Oh, that's gonna be so fun. That's nice. Okay, Kirsten, I'm also seeing something about Keego Connect. Is that part of the same thing, or is that different? Can we talk about that also?
No, it's different. We're always looking at ways to activate our parks. And It was just something that came to me that's like, okay, how do we connect the two? And it's connecting our community and connecting our parks with our community. And so doing some smaller scale events, just kind of more like pop-ups. So think about yoga in the park. Story time with the West Bloomfield Library. I'm so thankful for them to join us with that. So once a month, we'll do some of these smaller events. We've got disc golf clinics that are coming now that we have our great disc golf in Baxter Morgan. I don't know how to play, so teaching me how to play and how to throw. I joke around. I got one, and I'm like, mine's broken because it didn't go in the net. So have to have some humor with it. But we're so thankful that we have community partners that are doing it. We're going to be doing movement in the park as well. So I've said I'm giving myself a couple of days, and you'll start seeing the posts on our social media. So we really appreciate people connecting with us on that, so that they stay tuned. These are smaller events, not larger scale like a block party or a Memorial Day parade.
Got you. But still a good reason to get outside. And I love that you all are, like I said, putting in the effort to create events and reasons for people to get outside, because I'm telling you, we get so caught up in the mundane, consistent day-to-day routine. Wake up in the morning, go to work, pick up the kids, come home, clean up, do homework. You're tired, you cook dinner, and that's it. And then next thing you know, you look up and the summer has just passed us by. So I like to highlight those opportunities for us to all get outside, get to know each other, soak up the sun, et cetera, et cetera. There's a lot of stuff that you actually talked about. Any additional information, topics, reflection, messages for the community that we didn't speak on that you want to get out while we still have you?
Just thankful for your support. Thankful for all that did support us. We are Keego Harbor Police Department, as well as the surrounding police departments, helped us to close the roads to protect the participants as well as those that were watching. So I'm thankful for them to do that. All of the volunteers, my DPW, Doug, he's a hero because he helped with every aspect of it. So there were so many things that we can't, so many people to thank. I don't have enough time. I need another segment, but just want to know that I'm so thankful for those that participated and helped make this event a success.
Absolutely. From the people that helped on the back end to the patrons and residents who came out on the front end, all successful, and it's all made possible by the community and from volunteers like you. Kirsten Sonneville Douglas, Keego Harbor Parks and Rec, thank you so much for joining us on the Splash Live. We always appreciate your time.
Thank you, Kevin. Have a great day.
Absolutely. You too. Have a better one. We appreciate that talk. Tyler, that was a great event. I'm talking about the weather was perfect. The weather must have known what time the parade started, because I swear it rained right before the sun came out, opened up like The Simpsons, and then I feel like it rained right afterwards. But it was perfect for us, man. So great talking to Kirsten Sonneville Douglas. If you want to find out more about what they have going on, you can check it out on their website. Also, Keego Harbor website, Keego Harbor. Let me get that. KeegoHarbor.org. KeegoHarbor.org for more events on Parks and Rec at Keego Harbor.
It's also on their Facebook page at KH Parks as well. If you want to follow along, get more info and ways that you can join in on building all that fun and games and events happening in Keego Harbor during what's really their peak season over the summer months. Man. Summer music is also on its way right next door in Sylvan Lake over the summer. We told you last week that the Sil Sunsets concert series was coming back, and they were soon to release their concert listing for 2024, and it all kicks off on Thursday this week. The Sil Sunsets concert series, Thursday, May 30th, their first concert at 2390 Pontiac Drive will feature the Working Girls. And then they'll have plenty more featured artists all throughout the summer, all the way through the next couple of months. Their upcoming shows, in addition to this week Thursday, will be the Big Chief Barbershop Chorus on June 4th, Cheruba on June 13th, and Kathleen Murray and the Soul Commission. You've heard them many times in our local area, both at the Sil Sunsets concert series and many other venues in the Greater West Bloomfield area. They're coming back into town on June 20th. A full listing can be found by joining the Sylvan Lake What's Going On Facebook page or contacting Kelly Krause. Kevin, this is a really cool series. You're new here. The series began last year and really really peaked last year in terms of its organization. But it began during the COVID-19 pandemic. Of course, we couldn't go to different bars or music venues to support our local artists, and so Kelly Krause and her father, they held the first of these concerts in her father's driveway in Sylvan Lake, inviting artists in. People would donate to the artists so that they would make some money and be able to perform and provide an opportunity for the community to get together at a safe distance. And it's grown into what's now a great summer tradition in Sylvan Lake.
Oh, man, I didn't know. I love to hear about things growing like that, man. People love to hear about growth. But let me tell you, if that event is anything like it just showed on that picture, seal sunsets with the background right off the water in the sun, bro, I am there, bro. That is peak summertime activity. Outside, sunset, water, great weather, music. Oh, man, talk about perfect, man. So Seal Sunset seems like a great event concert series. I'm going to have to check it out myself at least once or twice.
Yeah, all these concerts are going to be happening in various locations. They have a number of different sponsors that are supporting them all throughout the season. This first concert, again, is going to be on Thursday. They'll kick off with the Working Girls at 2390 Pontiac Drive, supported in sponsorship by Midge Davidson. And of course, again, Kelly Krause would be your contact if you want to sponsor some of these concerts, learn more information, or otherwise get involved to help out in this music concert series all throughout the summer. Nearby us, just a couple miles away at Lone Pine Elementary School in West Bloomfield. Kevin, a young lady, is making great achievements in business. Madeline Hinkle was recognized at the Junior Achievement Spotlight Awards. Here she is with Fox 2 and WOMC's Jay Towers. The youngest presenter at the event talked about her business, May I LLC, but she's not done with the hard work after getting this honor at this event recently. She'll be doing some mentor experiences over the summer with a partner from the Taft Law Firm after her school year completes. A young student making great strides to further her life, her career, and her interests, as well as her business. Really impressive stuff from Madeline over at Lone Pine Elementary School.
Oh, that just warms my heart to see how small, how young she is, starting early. She has that means she's in the right environment. She has right people around her supporting her. She has the right resources, and I love to see that at such an early age. Congratulations again, and I'm happy to see everything that she's doing and the support that she's receiving too, man.
Yeah, doing great things out of the Bloomfield Hills School District, which also covers part of our community here in the Greater West Bloomfield area, and Lone Pine Elementary School right here in West Bloomfield on the former campus. I always knew it as West Hills Middle School, but after their recent changes in school venues, it's now Lone Pine. Nonetheless, Madeline Hinkle, big star over there at Lone Pine Elementary School. You can give her your congratulations and learn more about what's going on in Bloomfield Hills Schools on Facebook at BH Schools. Kevin, one organization in our local area that helps a lot in advancing our kids and inspiring them to do great things is the Rotary Club of West Bloomfield. They have a number of different events all throughout the year that support not only our community and enrichment opportunities for our kids, but they're involved in so many different things: environmental stewardship, music, and so much more. And we had a chance to recognize a couple of their volunteers recently at the Michigan Week Community Awards breakfast, and one of those was Ike Engelbaum, who's been instrumental over the years in their music appreciation and their environmental stewardship programs. We're going to bring him in now. Ike Engelbaum joining us on The Splash, a longtime member of the Rotary Club of West Bloomfield. Ike, now that you're with us here, let's start off by getting into, how did you first get involved in the Rotary Club?
Well, it's a great pleasure to be on. I am so impressed with the sophistication that you guys have, and it's right here in our own community.
Hey, we're glad to do it, and we love to connect with people all across these four communities and even beyond that are coming in, and technology allows us to do that, so we're happy to connect with you today as you've been connecting with our community for so many years through music and through so many other initiatives through the Rotary Club of West Bloomfield. Let's go back to when you started this tradition of service in your life with the Rotary Club. How did you get involved with it, and what prompted you to join our local Rotary?
Well, actually, as they say, there are certain things in life that coincidental, and ironically enough, it's almost 50 years ago that I started the Entrepreneurs Network of Michigan. And the mission that I had was to help people achieve their goals. And then along comes the Rotary Club, and Paul Harris, who started the organization in 1905, had that vision. So all of a sudden, two visions got together, and I'm a firm believer that one person can do so much if you surround yourself with positive-minded people. And Dr. Ashok Gupta, who is a very prominent physician, has been president of different Rotary clubs, invited me when he was the president of the Auburn Hills Rotary Club. Hey, Ike, we need people that join in spreading the word about how we can help each other in achieving our goals. So we have mutual goals, and since then, it's really been a delight to be able to see what we can do. The Rotary Club, interestingly enough, was started by Paul Harris in Chicago, who said that, why don't we get professionals together so that we can service the community? And that is the motto, service above all. And a fun fact that you might appreciate,
Sure.
Guess what the first project was to help the community in Chicago? Was installing public toilets throughout Chicago.
Interesting.
You talk about starting at the bottom. There you go.
Absolutely, Ike. That is quite the way to start off. And a big legacy came out of that expands far beyond Chicago and is now in our local area as well. And the local Rotary Club has a number of different initiatives that they're employing all throughout the year to help our community in a variety of different ways. Some of the ones that we know are important to you are environmental cleanup and music appreciation. Let's begin with the environmental cleanup and some of the efforts that go into organizing that. What outcomes have come from these efforts that you've participated in over the years with Rotary in our local community?
Well, I mean, obviously cleanliness is vital. I'm a pharmacist, so I speak from a medical standpoint. You got to cleanse the wounds and what have you. And we've got so many wonderful human beings give up of their time, and we pick up the refuse or a lack of better word and what have you. And by the way, we welcome membership, and you do not have to make any long-term commitments. If you are the type of human being that wants to help other human beings, the Rotary Club, and of course there's the Optimist Club as well. Those are the type of organizations I strongly encourage people to join. It's so sad to see so many needy people that just really need an outreach hand. And the Rotary Club has got 35,000 clubs around the world. 1.2 million members. You can go anywhere in the Rotary Club and rotate. And that's what it's all about. Yeah. And of course, music is phenomenal in terms, it's an international language.
It is.
You can go anywhere in the world, and as long as you can read the notes and you're talented, you can make a musical world.
And it's therapeutic too, Mike, because it helps people not only, as you said, connect with people from all different walks of life. And we have so many people from all different walks of life here in our community, but it also helps them to express themselves too. So what about music and particularly inspiring music appreciation has motivated you to continue that effort with the Rotary Club of West Bloomfield?
Well, first of all, anyone that's out there that wants to join up with us, Steinway Gallery has been a phenomenal supporter, and there's concerts all of the time. And I'm in love with a four-letter, or actually four-line poem about what music can do for people. Music speaks what cannot be expressed, soothes the mind and gives it rest, heals the heart and makes it whole, flows from heaven to the soul. I mean, that expresses the power of music. As I mentioned, being a pharmacist, I've dealt with a lot of people who have, unfortunately, have dementia. Do you realize music can actually bring out whatever strengths they still have in their mind? And that's why I'm so excited about being involved with so many ways to reach out to people, to help them in their daily lives, and also in a spiritual way. And of course, music is so powerful in terms of bringing back memories. They've actually found ways that many times music, for someone who has signs of dementia, if you play the type of music that they were raised with, it suddenly brings a sparkle to their eyes. And it's such a wonderful feeling to know that you've made another human being appreciate life that much more. You know, there's a great line that I like to quote from Emerson's poem about success. And briefly paraphrased, it's to grow a garden, to make the world a little more beautiful, to help raise responsible citizens if you're a parent, but above all, to know that you have made another person's life breathe easier, you are a success. And I welcome anyone out there that, especially if they're retired and they want to really feel good about what they can accomplish. Everyone has got a great talent. And the sad part is they are never given an opportunity to bring that talent out. And that's what the Rotary Club is all about. And music can make that whole experience so much more wonderful. That's why I'm really excited about being about the Rotarian. And I really was so flattered that I was being recognized by our current president, Raman Singh, who actually is Indian. Our next upcoming president is Jewish. So you talk about rotating from people to religion. We're there.
Yeah, and reflecting all elements of our community and all the many cultures and many different backgrounds that come together to make Greater West Bloomfield the very diverse and very close-knit community that it is. If you're interested in joining along with Ike and the whole team at the West Bloomfield Rotary, you can visit them on westbloomfieldrotary.org. Ike, before we let you go, your final thoughts on getting that recognition, not only from your fellow Rotarians for your service, but being around so many people in our community that value that service, that have shown their ways of taking whatever talent that they have or whatever time that they have, the heart that they have, and giving it back. What was that moment like for you as you soaked in the 52nd Annual Michigan Week Awards?
It was just wonderful to be in that kind of atmosphere, and it sort of inspires you and really makes you glad that you are able to make a difference. And I'll tell you, if you have any down days or what have you, by all means, join up with the Rotary Club or even the other service organizations. We've got them great. It's so easy to make a difference in someone else's life. There's a great saying I like to quote that in terms of that as far as the world is concerned, is that you can actually be the world for someone who is sort of floundering around, frustrated in their life. So by all means, rotate.
Absolutely. And we've learned a lot of great lessons from you and from our other volunteers over the years who have made such an impact on our community. Ike, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you. It's been a delight to be on. God bless.
Glad to have you with us, Ike, and thank you for your service to our community and volunteering over all these years and making such a great impact on so many different people. You can get involved with the West Bloomfield Rotary by visiting westbloomfieldrotary.org, and we thank Ike for his time today. Kevin, as we continue through the month of May, we recognize Gun Violence Awareness Day. This is a occurrence that's unfortunately hit so many of our communities, including locally here and across the state in Michigan. And so many people are making a point to make sure that they take action to bring awareness to gun violence prevention tactics, including here in West Bloomfield Township, where recently a group came to West Bloomfield Township and was able to work with the township to get a Gun Violence Awareness Day recognition passed at the township board level.
Absolutely. And join us here on the Splash Live. We have someone to talk about that more specifically. Gun Violence Awareness Month is in June, so it's very appropriate that we have Ann Anderson from the Michigan chapter, co-lead of Moms Demand Action for Gun Sense in America, and a Wear Orange volunteer. Ann Anderson, thank you so much for your time for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
So for people who are unaware, National Gun Violence Awareness Day is the first Friday in June. Okay. It was started after a teen from Chicago, Hadia Pendleton, who had marched in 2013 in the second inaugural parade for President Obama, and a week later was shot and killed on a playground in Chicago. Her friends and family members decided that they were going to honor her life by raising awareness of gun violence. And they had the first Wear Orange Day on her birthday, which is in early June. And they asked people to wear orange. They chose orange because that is the color that hunters wear when they are trying to say, don't shoot. So that has grown into a national movement. The National Gun Violence Awareness Day was recognized as the first Friday in June. That is going to be June 7th this year.
Right.
And there are Wear Orange events that go on all throughout that weekend. So the 7th, 8th, and 9th. And actually there's some that happen before and after as well. And that's at the national level. People can find out more of those events that are happening at wearorange.org. And if they go to ways to participate, they can do a search by their location to find the events that are happening near them. Right. Some of them that are happening there's an event, I think in Rochester, they're going to be tying orange ribbons around poles in downtown Rochester. There's an event, it's not yet showing up on the website because I'm trying to get all the details, but there's going to be an event on the 9th at St. Stephen AME in Detroit that will involve, amongst other things, planting orange flowers as part of like a memory, like a memory garden. And I'm trying to remember, and very importantly in Oxford on, I believe, June 8th, there's a nature walk for Justin Schilling, who is one of the students who was murdered at Oxford High School. Wow. So those are just some of the events that are happening in the area. Then in addition, there's Silence the Violence. Right. So Silence the Violence started with Church of the Messiah 17 years ago, when the church and the congregation were disturbed and fed up, quite frankly, with the number of gun deaths that were affecting their community, the young people who were being, killed by guns and gun violence. And they decided to do something. They have a lot of programs that they do to support and kind of like be community violence intervention and things like that. But they also have this annual march and rally, Silence the Violence. Last year, they took it statewide, and they are continuing that tradition this year, so that there are events all across the state, mostly through the month of June. There were a few in May. that are to, again, recognize gun violence, its victims, and the impact it has on all of us. And those events can be found at End Gun Violence Michigan's website. So if you go to endgunviolencemi.org and select more, there's a pull down menu, and you check the Silence the Violence events there. There's like, I think, about 30 going on across the state. Some of them are marches and rallies, like what will be happening in Detroit on the 15th. Some of them, there's another one in Oxford on the 22nd, which is their third annual rally. So there are events going on all over. There's also Indivisible Huron Valley is hosting a screening of the documentary Gabby Giffords Won't Back Down. Gabby Giffords, for those who don't know, is a U.S. representative who was shot at a rally. She was actually shot in the head, and she managed to survive, and then has turned her passion and her abilities toward gun violence prevention.
That's
so
good. I want to ask
a lot
you,
of stuff.
Sorry to no, that was a lot to consume, and I appreciate you giving that. We're gonna kind of wrap it up by end up telling people where to go to actually find all that information, just in case it was too much now. But I want to kind of dig into a few things, and real quick, while we do have you, first and foremost, you provided a lot of information in regards to the Wear Orange organization, the root of it, why they wear orange. All great information I wasn't privy to. I'm sure our audience wasn't. But you're also like you said, co-lead for Moms Demand Action for Gun Sense in America. Can you briefly give us some more information behind that organization?
Okay, and to find out about us, we're at momsdemandaction.org is our website. It is a national organization, and I am the co-lead for the Michigan chapter. We are a group of volunteers. It's a grassroots volunteers organization. We are, as we say, mothers and others. So you don't have to be a mom, you don't have to be a woman to be a member. And what we do is we work toward gun violence prevention. We are not anti-gun, but we are anti-gun violence. We are pro-gun safety.
Right.
And we are looking for common sense, evidence-backed solutions to things. Some of that is advocating for policy change, but some of that is just educating the public. So part of what we do is the Be Smart organization, or Be Smart, not organization, Be Smart program that we have, which actually is an educational program for adults to teach them better practices when it comes to firearms and children, because we recognize that it's our responsibility as the adults to keep kids safe from guns. There's one thing you can do, which is something that teaches people about extreme risk protection orders. So we have some educational tools as well, and we believe in also working in the community and with the community organizations that are already doing the work.
Exactly, and that's how you do it. Collaborating with local organizations that are already established, especially with it being a national organization. You want to connect with those local ones that are also doing that work. I completely understand that. What's very important to me personally is the proclamation with the West Bloomfield Township for the Gun Violence Awareness Day. Can you just talk a little bit more about that proclamation, the importance of it, and why here in West Bloomfield area, why that's so important?
Every year we ask as many townships as we can around the area to recognize National Gun Violence Awareness Day, to kind of raise again that awareness of this issue. As I said, the meaning, it's something that gun violence is something that impacts all of us in one way or another. It can be something that's direct, but it can be a lot of things that are what we don't perceive that it's impacting us. Things like our children trying to manage the trauma that gets created just merely by having active shooter drills. It might be someone who's had someone in their life who's committed suicide with a gun. So there's a lot of different ways we get affected. The entire state was traumatized by what happened at MSU because we all knew somebody. Even if we weren't there, we knew somebody who was. And these are things that we want to raise that awareness. West Bloomfield has been a very good partner in that, because they have supported us, I believe, every year that we have asked, and it's been several years now. And we're just asking people, at least on the 7th, wear orange. You can let people know about it. Go to the website, find out more about what this is about. and just bring that awareness to people of the fact that there are victims and survivors everywhere, and that all of us have faced this impact.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And I'm so glad we had you here. We got to kind of wrap up, but I do appreciate your time. And one last time, just let people know the key important information of where they should go if they want to find all the resources that you just gave.
So the first one is we'reorange.org. And if you go to the ways to participate, that's where you can find the events. The second one is endgunviolencemi.org. And there, if you click on the More button, there is an option to go to the Silence the Violence events. And then finally, if you want to find out anything more about Moms Demand Action, for Gun Sense in America, you go to momsdemandaction.org. If you're interested in any of our other programs, you can go to besmartforkids.org or onethingyoucando.org. And then one last thing, if people want to reach out to me, my email address is michigan@momschapterleaders.org.
Absolutely. Thank you so much again for your time and talking about something that's very, very important and that it impacts or affects all of us, whether directly or indirectly. Once again, Michigan chapter co-lead for Moms Demand Action for Gun Sense in America and a volunteer for Wear Orange, Ann Anderson. We appreciate the time. Thank you.
Thank you very much for having me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Very important topic, Tyler, for us to discuss as she and her organization are making the moves and putting in the efforts to make sure that West Bloomfield Township and our surrounding communities are all aware of things that we can do to be more educated with firearms and firearm safety, as well as just preventing gun violence in general. So that was a great information. If you want to find out more, wearorange.org also, or momsdemandaction.org.
You can hear the full proclamation recognizing Gun Violence Awareness Day from the West Bloomfield Township Board. That's on demand as well on our website, civiccentertv.com. Go to our on-demand page and view the meeting from their May 20th, 2024 Board of Trustees meeting on demand. Live, local, social, it's the Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. Still plenty more to get to about what's going on in our local community. We'll take a break and come back right after this.
We'll be right back with the Splash Live. Bringing you stories and memories from West Bloomfield, Civic Center TV, and 89.3 Lakes FM. Live, local, and social, it's the Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. Join our team as we highlight people and events that are making an impact in the Greater West Bloomfield area. Catch us live Monday to Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Watch us on demand at civiccentertv.com. Or watch us on TV at Comcast Channel 15 or AT&T at Channel 99. Find local municipal meetings at our program schedule on civiccentertv.com. Find when your meetings air live or when they're replaying on our Civic Center TV live stream. Find it all at civiccentertv.com and click schedule at the top of the screen. And now, back to the Splash Live.
Live, local, social, it's the Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. I'm Tyler Kieft alongside Kevin McIntosh. Thank you for joining us and for joining along as well on YouTube at Civic Center TV and on Facebook at Civic Center TV 15. It's the time of the year where we get back outside, we learn more indoors about our local environment and get involved in the community, both kids, adults, families, and everything in between. And one of the greatest ways to find those sorts of events, games, and fun is with West Bloomfield Parks and Recreation. Joining us now on the program is their Executive Director, Kelly Heyer, on today's edition of the Splash Live. Kelly, thank you for being with us again.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Yeah,
Good
happy
morning.
to have you on. It's an action-packed time of the year for the West Bloomfield Parks and Recreation team, and now this is the time of the year where you start to get into a lot of the fun stuff outdoors also, and recently that began with Lily Pad Springs opening for the season. Always an exciting time of the year for your team.
That's right, Tyler, where he opens on Friday, and Mother Nature didn't exactly cooperate throughout the weekends, but we got in a couple of full beautiful days. And yes, the Lily Pad Springs is now open through Labor Day, but you might want to check our hours on our schedule because until school gets out, we run a modified schedule. And then it is 3 sessions a day throughout the whole summer. And on Tuesdays, we do have added back our Twilight Tuesdays.
And it's a really fun place to go, too, for families and for kids. This is an amenity that's pretty new to West Bloomfield Parks and kind of sets the tone for what you're looking to do at some other places throughout the community. We, of course, know that there's a bond issue coming up that may affect the Recreation Activity Center, but in particular, the one that's already in place and already has plans underway to move it forward is Pine Lake Park. Give us an update on that and where Pine Lake Park is at this time.
Thanks for asking about that, Tyler. So Pine Lake Park, if for those viewers that haven't heard, we acquired that property through a lease with Bloomfield Hills Schools in October, and we dedicated that park then. And since then, we have moved forward with a draft master plan. The commission has seen the draft master plan, but we have yet to adopt it. So it includes a phased approach to developing that park. And that used to be a former elementary school. So it is a wide open space that had a parking lot that needed a little love. So we are moving forward with adding some striping to that and making it a little bit more noticeable on how to use that traffic pattern there. And then from there, we've also maintained the baseball field that's currently being used by a local baseball group. But as far as our master plan goes, we have a really cool approach to making a family-friendly pocket park, right at a neighborhood park, and it is going to include walking trails, playground, basketball, pickleball, and some of those tennis court amenities that they are used to right now, the neighborhood. And so, yeah, we have a little bit of work to go. Funding-wise, it comes in a little bit more above the budget we had wanted to spend there. So we are looking for some partnership dollars and other ways to accomplish this master plan.
And we know that in the past, Kelly, fairly recently, you did bring out a survey to the community to kind of gauge what they were looking for in a new park, because so many of our parks in our local area have similar amenities with their own kind of special twist to it, whether it's Drake Sports Park and all of its sports facilities, and Marshbank Park and all of its open green space, and of course the concert hill. So what from that survey did your team learn about what was desired in this part of the community with Pine Lake Park?
Well, first of all, yes, you hit it right on the head. As regards to engaging the neighborhood, we wanted to make sure that we heard from the neighbors and got support from the neighborhood, because they can access that park from 2 of the neighborhoods, and they've been used to that over the years, accessing the former elementary school area. So we were not surprised by the feedback. We had over 300 respondents, and the number one amenity was walking trail, which again, we're not surprised because that shows up consistently in all of our surveys. The next thing was our playgrounds and keeping the woodlands and the spaces, the meadow spaces. And then tied, I would say for third would be some of the sport court amenities, such as the basketball, pickleball, tennis ball.
More information can be found on Pine Lake Park by visiting wbparks.org. You can also keep up to date with everything happening in West Bloomfield Parks on their Facebook page at WB Parks as well. Joining us on the Splash Live is their Executive Director, Kelly Heyer, as we talk about the latest with West Bloomfield Parks all across the board. And as we are really getting into the thick of the summer seasons, we're approaching the first official day of summer in late June. This is the time of the year where events sort of really ramp up for West Bloomfield Parks in a variety of capacities, because everybody's looking for activities. The kids are out of school. Parents are looking for ways to engage their kids in activity and in learning when they're not in the classroom every single day. But then you still have the adults and you have the seniors that are looking for ways to get active when it's nice outside. And we have all this beautiful weather and all these beautiful parks as well. So when you get to this time of the year, how do you ensure that these programs are variable enough that anybody that comes into our community, and certainly anybody that lives in our community, can have a lot of fun and many learning opportunities over the summer?
Well, that's a big question there, but we make sure that we're putting out there programs that people are traditionally used to, as well as hearing from their survey feedback and adjusting accordingly. And we try to make sure that there's a blend of things that if families just want to use our parks and facilities, that there is some passive recreation that happens. So our parks and trails are open dawn to dusk. As far as our programmed activities, we make sure that we are offering things daytime, weekday evenings, and throughout the weekend. So depending on your schedule, hopefully there's something for everyone. We also make sure that we have definitely a family friendly vibe. So people that want to come out with the entire family versus a more individualized experience. So you're right, Tyler, we have a full slate of things happening this summertime. And the best way to stay up to date is through our activity guide or our website.
Yeah, all those can be found on WBParks.org. You can also find individual events that are happening coming up all throughout the week, including some of their concerts over the summer, both their Kids Commotion concert series and the Marshbank Music series, which are both back this summer once again. Kelly, you also feature some summer camps as we get into that time of the year where the kids are starting to get out of school over the next few weeks, and those camps are going to begin. What information should parents know at this time if they're still looking for some of those camp activities over the summer?
Well, we did kick off registration in April, so some of the camps are full right now, but still get on our wait list because you never know what changes. And for West Bloomfield Parks, we do require a form to be filled out prior to registration. So parents, if you're still thinking about summer camp, make sure you take a look at the full registration packet. It's free to do the packet, and then you pick the camps that you want to enroll, and you do pay in advance for those summer camps.
More information on those camps can be found on WBParks.org, as well as all of their programs and events for people of all ages throughout the summer and all around the year. Kelly, anything else that you'd like to talk about that's going on right now with West Bloomfield Parks before we let you go today?
Well, I think when we kicked off our conversation today about Lily Pad Springs, definitely a highlight for both kids, parents, and grandparents. And of course, Connect is open all summer long with the fan favorites and our standard schedule. So if those of you listening 50 and over and you haven't checked out Connect, please do so, because we have all kinds of lectures, we have lunches, we have active programs, as well as just drop-in.
They have so much fun over there at Connect. Every time I see pictures, I get a little bit jealous of the seniors in our community having so much fun each and every day. So definitely a place you'll want to join in. Kelly, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you so much.
Glad to have you on. Facebook.com/WBParks to see all those pictures from Connect and their other events and join in on the fun a little bit vicariously, or go to their website on WBParks.org and find out how you can join in with them right there and directly. Kevin, it's a really fun time of the year for people of all different ages, especially for families in our community. And what's great about these events through West Bloomfield Parks is, as Kelly said, they do work really hard to make sure there's something for a little bit of everybody and for all different kinds of interests.
Oh, of course, Tyler. You know me. When I'm talking to somebody, especially from WB Parks, I don't care if it looks like, if it's the Lily Pad Springs, I'm asking, can adults come there too? I want to play in the water park also. But WB Parks does a great job at creating different programs, activities, events that literally reaches from all different ages and ranges. And we know the West Bloomfield community has an older population, so it's good that they have activities and things that helps and accommodates them also. So great to hear, man. West Bloomfield Park still putting in that work.
Absolutely, and this time of the year is one of their busiest, so you want to get involved in those programs, show them your appreciation. And they always love seeing those smiling faces come by for their concert series as well, all of which are at Marshbank Park. Making memories, that's what this is all about. That's what summer is all about. And for some students at West Bloomfield High School, they'll be making some final memories in the next 24 hours or so as they head out to Pine Knob Music Theater to officially spell the end of their high school career. We will have live coverage of the class of 2024 commencement right here on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. Will also be on WBTV with this year's commencement happening at 6 o'clock. You're seeing some pictures from a really fun event last week that honored the students and their achievements over their high school career. Tomorrow they'll wrap it all up. We'll hear from students, we'll hear from their teachers, we'll hear from their high school and the district administration, and another passing of the torch to the class of 2025 as we say goodbye to this graduating class. Join us for the live broadcast and find it on demand on civiccentertv.com. Live, local, social, it's the Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. We thank you for joining us. Thank our team at Master Control, Jake Schaff, Anthony Juba, Calvin Brown, and of course Kevin McIntosh for our entire team. I'm Tyler Kieft. Thank you for tuning in to the Splash Live.